With Luka Doncic healthy and on the floor, the Dallas Mavericks have a chance to be a real, championship-like contending team in the Western Conference, and they proved that a season ago by being one of the final two teams standing in the West. However, outside of Doncic, it is really hard to find consistent production on this roster. The Dallas Mavericks have a chance to be a legitimate, championship-caliber contending team in the Western Conference with Luka Doncic healthy and on the court, and they demonstrated that last season by finishing as one of the final two teams standing in the West. On this roster, it is extremely difficult to find consistent production, aside from Doncic. The Mavericks' addition of Christian Wood off the bench has been crucial, and by the end of the season, he will probably be in the starting lineup. Spencer Dinwiddie has taken over as the nut. Jalen Brunson and Tim Hardaway Jr. passed up the nut, can occasionally provide a scoring boost off the bench, but the Mavs' offense can be very unreliable. This team must find ways to improve their offensive performance and lessen the burden on Doncic, which is why they have signed guard Kemba Walker, a former four-time All-Star. The Mavericks would be waiving veteran guard Facundo Campazzo to make room for Walker, a player the team has been interested in for some time. According to the first report, which came from NBA insider Marc Stein early on Monday, the absence of Jalen Brunson during the offseason had a very noticeable impact on this offense. Having a second experienced backcourt player who is capable of not only creating for himself but also for others will be crucial for this team down the stretch, which is why Kemba Walker was added. Walker, who is now 32 years old, has endured a number of knee injuries over the years, and as a result, he is now only a bench player rather than an all-star talent. Walker's time with the New York Knicks last season did not turn out as he had hoped, and now that he is playing for Dallas, this could be his last opportunity to establish himself in the league. As previously mentioned, the Mavericks need some help offensively as they are not very talented on that end of the floor outside of Luka Doncic. What can the veteran guard bring to the table for the Mavericks, a team with high championship aspirations in a very competitive conference? Doncic, who is currently doing everything for this team, has hardly missed any games during the first quarter of the season, which raises some questions within this organization. Doncic will eventually succumb to the toll of playing in 82 games, especially if he is currently playing more than 40 minutes in some contests. The playoffs from the previous year, when the Mavericks lost to the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals, made it abundantly clear that Luka could not do it all for this team. Dallas needs a backcourt option besides Spencer Dinwiddie that is dependable and consistent because they cannot afford for Doncic to be worn out or to suffer from some wear and tear injuries by the end of the season. Kemba Walker is more than capable of scoring on his own. He plays very selflessly when he has the ball in his hands, and because he is an offensive guard who prefers to attack first, Brunson's role from last season is one that Walker could actually play fairly well in. Since starting the year 6-3, Dallas has dropped 7 of their last 10 games, and there should be plenty of reason for concern regarding this team. The Mavericks continue to be among the league's best defensive teams, but they are still searching for their offensive identity. Owner Mark Cuban said to Brad Townsend of the Dallas Morning News, "We wanted to add some flexibility to our offense. The same as last year, we have excellent shot quality at this point, especially from 3 points, but we have struggled to make enough of them. J-Kid will have more offensive options thanks to Kemba. Having someone like Walker come off the bench could end up being a very effective move for the Mavericks, especially if he is still able to be a spark of scoring in a limited minutes role. But whether or not Walker can continue to be durable and able to play on the floor is the big question surrounding his signing with the Mavericks. Kemba Walker is undoubtedly a benefit for any team to have on their bench when he's healthy. This is a very dubious move for Dallas at this point because the veteran has found it difficult to stay available over the years. The Mavericks have very little to lose by making this move, as the worst-case scenario is that Walker cannot stay healthy or does not perform well off the bench. Overall, however, he has definitely demonstrated over the course of his career that he is a much more effective offensive weapon than Facundo Campazzo. The Fast Break podcast, hosted by one of us, Brett Siegel, is now available.